Downloading a very, very long speech of ones and zeros. Now, if you look at the situation with megaupload.com, Licks Nature Burger, This is the Remi review. We're in the actual studio room here at Euphonic Sound. Very exciting. Decided to make the change. I mean, this is a show, I'm a musician. This is a show that's hopefully going to have other musicians. We've got Prolific, of course. We've got Duke. But we're going to have many more musicians coming on the show. So it just makes sense. We'll get here, we'll get in the studio, and we'll really turn this into a music-based program. Music plus politics plus crappy consumer goods.
World.
Okay, so this week on the show, copyright. You get your MP3s, your waves, your FLACs, your GIFs. It's all digital, and it's all written in computer language. It's ones and zeros. So everything digital is a series of ones and zeros. That's what you've got. You've got ones and zeros in a long, long, long string of billions of ones and zeros. Every single digital media out there is made from ones and zeros in a long line. You download an MP3 from the internet, you're downloading a series of ones and zeros. You're downloading a very, very long speech of ones and zeros. Now, how could you construe that as stealing?
What?
Someone else says something, they say a speech. The fact that it's ones and zeros is irrelevant. It's a long speech. It's a speech of ones and zeros. It's still a speech. If you repeat that speech, you're supposedly stealing. That's what they want us to think, that you're stealing something when you repeat someone else's speech.
What? What?
And these people are broadcasting their speeches. They're broadcasting this speech of 1 and 0. I mean, how many retailers are there actually left out there? We all get our goods in the same stores, and you hear the music. You're driving around in your car. You turn on the radio. Hey, that's your radio. Someone is blasting radio signals at you with these songs, which are digitally recorded, which are a series of ones and zeros.
Yeah, bring the truth, man.
So when we try to sculpt these copyright laws, we're saying that you, a member of the public, is criminally liable if you repeat what someone else said. If you repeat someone else's speech of ones and zeros, you're criminally liable. Not even just civilly, not to the point where that person can sue you, but you've actually committed a crime. You can go to jail according to the state, because you've committed a heinous act. You've murdered somebody. You've stolen their car. You've committed some sort of criminal act by repeating someone else's speech.
These can't be the facts.
I mean, we're all okay with repeating something, a speech that comes from a politician. That's fine. If you go on the internet and you take a politician's speech and you put it up on the internet, hey, that politician is going to love you, first of all, because you're putting their speech online. I guess if it's negative information that they didn't want out there, they're not happy that it went up, but they're not going to contest it because it's something they said, and we're allowed to repeat what a politician said.
Yeah, bring the truth, man.
It has absolutely nothing to do with theft. Copyright laws are designed to limit free speech. They're going to be used to throw people in jail who are saying things that are critical about corporations and the dirty people in government who are in lieu with corporations.
Testify!
Because they want to make ideas themselves lawful. So a speech is an idea. You've presented an idea. When we make that idea something within the legal sphere, then we can control ideas. We can say which ones are permitted to be reproduced and recreated.
Show them how it is.
You're not stealing anything. It's a reproduction. There's no physical product. They love to give these examples where there's physical product, as though you're stealing something. You're at the beginning of the movies, you're ripping off, you're stealing someone's purse. It's the same. No, it isn't. It's bullshit. It's reproduction. You're just saying something that someone else said, and you should be allowed to do that. If we have a society where we're not allowed to repeat what other people said, we're going to be in a whole lot of shit really fast.
Boo!
And further, it's to build dependency. It's to monetize just another aspect of human existence. So we're going to monetize ideas. We're going to monetize speech. because there are people who can issue themselves limitless free money. So they want to monetize everything in the world. That's why they've put fences up, they've blocked off all the land. With carbon taxes, they want us to start paying for the air, taxes to pay to clean the water. So we're paying for our water, we're paying for our air. They want to monetize everything in existence. If they could make you pay for sunlight, they would make you pay for sunlight, as though someone owned the sun.
That's so not right.
Newsfit.
This time on the news fail, I'm going to cover, I don't know, I looked this, I've never seen this publication before. I looked it up on the internet really quick. It was called The Hollywood Reporter with some jackass. Anyway, the little bit of an article about Kim.com, and this was from some sort of TV producer who produces some kind of crap fiction drama bullshit on TV, was angry about Kim.com. If you don't know, Kim.com is the owner of Mega Upload, which for a while was the biggest file storage site in the world. For a while, it was the busiest website in the world. Now, a file storage site is a place where you upload things and other people are allowed to download it. And what happens on these file storage sites, people leave media on there. They'll upload movies that are copywritten, music that's copywritten, and then they'll leave a link to it somewhere else. And so you're able to download it. Now, if you look at the situation with MegaUpload.com, MegaUpload is the 5th worst company in the world for having so-called illegal downloads on their site. So that's things that are breaking copyright. They're number 5, but in the marketplace, they're way ahead. They were number 1. No one else was even close to them, but they were number 5 for bad downloads. So Mega Upload has demonstrated that they are the most responsible kind of file storage place out there. Mega Upload gets rid of copywritten material as quickly as possible. Better than all these other sites, obviously, because they have so much more traffic, but they still manage to get the links off there. So it shows that the company had good intentions toward copyright law. They know that if this were ever to go to court, that the state would lose, that the Hollywood lawyers would lose, unless you can somehow convince the judge that we shouldn't have file storage on the internet, which is ludicrous. That's never going to happen. That would cease the internet. There would be no more internet if you couldn't store files on a site.
Get him, Big Rem!
And Kim.com, he's in New Zealand. He's in jail in New Zealand. He is glad to come to the States. He says it over and over. Bring me to the States. Bring me to the States. I will go to court, because he knows he's going to win. But he won't come to the States because they won't unfreeze his assets. He can't use his assets to hire a proper legal team.
It's corrupt.
So he won't come to the States unless they force him to go. And even if they force him to go, he's going to find a lawyer that will do it pro bono, and he's still going to win because it's a really obvious case. There's no way they can prosecute this guy. But they may hold him in jail indefinitely. That's the system we live in. Now anyway, okay, so the Hollywood Reporter. One thing, I just took this out of the article, it said profits made allegedly. He says, well no, it didn't allegedly make profits. He made profits. He has them. They're in a bank account. He made profits. Nothing alleged about that. And he will win a court case if he has to go to court. I'm sorry that the legal system has failed you, Hollywood, in trying to suppress ideas, in trying to lock up and monetize ideas. I'm sorry that the legal system has failed you, but it has failed you. This man has not broken the law.
Tell him, Remi.
And he'll win if you take him to court. Take him to court, please. Prove to the world that you're full of shit. Take Kim.com to court. Some other things from this article. This whole article in the Hollywood Reporter is designed to sculpt taking copywritten material as though it's theft, as though you're stealing someone's purse, all right? Now, some of the words to kind of get you in this, he slowly brings you into it. He starts by saying hard work. Work actually is used 8 times in the article. He says posting other people's products. Okay, I guess, yeah, you produced it. Someone else's product. I can agree with that. But I mean, as the article goes on, it gets worse and worse. It makes less and less sense on a philosophical sense. He says, you know, people like Kim.com are free to profit from what anyone makes, writes, creates, designs, or owns. Throws owns at the end. Now you create, write, design, all these things. You put own at the end. Now, first of all, this guy is a Hollywood producer. He makes a TV show for I don't know, HBO or some bullshit. This man doesn't own his work. That's a joke. Rich people own artists' work in the mainstream, Hollywood and big record labels. It's owned by rich people, people that own the production sites. It's not owned by the artists anyway. Why are we even arguing from the point of saving artists when they get maybe 3 or 5% of the profit from their work? It's completely irrational to say that art in the mainstream is owned by the artists. It's not.
That's whack!
And even the idea of ownership. This is where he starts to introduce this idea. You own something, like there's a physical product there. But you can't own an idea. People need to be allowed to repeat your idea, your speech, your string of ones and zeros. People need access to free speech, or we're in a whole lot of shit. Okay, so finally he works you up to the big mindfuck finish where he compares it to he compares Kim.com to a guy who found a whole lot of brand name jeans in a poorly guarded warehouse and then, took them and sell them for less. That's what he compares it to. So here you go. He finally works us into it. Oh, there's hard work. There's people producing something. They own it. It's a physical product. Wait a minute, this is not a physical product, it's a speech. There's no physical product here. The analogy that it's like a pile of jeans in a warehouse is bullshit. It's propaganda to convince people that free speech should be monetized and suppressed. And he rounds it out with a couple, lesser jabs, finishes the crap sandwich with other people's stuff. Or belong to me, just reinforcing this idea of ownership of an idea.
Consume!
Viewer suggestion on Consume part of the show, we're going to talk about Lick's Nature Burger. Nature Burger.
I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face.
Nature? Nature is one of those words you can just kind of use. It doesn't really mean anything, so you can say nature for anything. Nature, nature, nature. It's one of the only veggie burgers that has saturated fat. And actually, if you look, I couldn't even find this on the internet. I looked, because I've seen a package of Lick's Nature Burgers before, and I looked at the ingredients, and it's a massive list of ingredients. I wasn't going to buy the damn thing, so I don't have a box to show you, and I couldn't find it on the internet. I think that's so bizarre that I can't find the ingredient list of the Nature Burgers online anywhere. I went to Lick's, they don't have it. I Google image search, nothing. I can't find the ingredient list. But I know it's massive. There's 10 million different weird things created from soy in there. And of course, soy, it's another one of these plants that's a super plant. They toxically saturate the ground and then it grows out and nothing else will grow. So they like to keep growing soy. They can grow it over and over in the same fields because they blast it with fertilizing chemicals. They blast it with herbicidal, fungicidal chemicals, and they saturate the ground and it grows beautifully. High profits. That's why soy is so prevalent these days. It's got nothing to do with health. It's high profit. It's an easy crop. So on this topic of nature, I don't know, I guess they say natural spring water. Natural, yeah, maybe natural just means it came from the earth. Well, no, I guess it can't be just that it came from the earth, because a lot of things that say natural spring water, some person had to put that into the bottle, so I guess it's been touched by man.
Nah, seriously, I don't understand.
So it came from the earth and it's been touched by man. Maybe that's the definition of natural. Came from the earth, touched by man. Well, I mean, neurotoxins, plastic, Roundup, this was all, it came from the planet Earth unless we got it from outer space, and it was touched by man. So really, we can just start saying anything in the world is natural if that's the definition. And clearly, that's what marketers and advertisers have told us, that natural means anything in existence. So it's grown in a field of toxic crap, and it's regrown every year, even though that's not what crops are supposed to do. That's not how the natural world works. And then, you know, it goes into some trucks and they ship things around and they put it through a processing plant in a factory, and they put it in some more trucks and they ship it around and they wrap it in petroleum products and they keep it artificially freezing cold in a freezer in a fluorescent room, this big box space in the middle of the city that's fluorescent and has these freezer boxes artificially keeping things frozen. and you go into the store, you drive your truck to the store, and then you get this frozen box, you take it home, you take it out of the petroleum, out of the cardboard, and you put it on top of a magic red coil that sits in the middle of your kitchen and cook it. Nature.
Culture.
Time for the cultural review. Now this time, a song done by Remi Stevens. Although the music was done many years ago by a friend of Remi, Ian Martin, the song, as named by Ian Martin, which remains the name, is Think You Heard the Same Thing, Didn't You? Now Remi took it and shortened it a little bit and just called it Sam Ting, but the title's still the same. And it fits with this episode because copyright. Think you heard the same thing? Yeah, you did. It was just a string of ones and zeros. You heard it and repeated it. And you're going to hear it now.